Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. We're on our flight from Dublin to Madrid. It was a very early departure from Dublin this morning. We had an awesome wedding meet with our friends and family. We're excited to go to Spain and Portugal. We have Joe and Kristi with us still for a couple more days. We made it to Madrid, we dropped our bags off at the Airbnb, and now we're out walking around. The first stop is Park El Retiro, massive park in the middle of Madrid. Beautiful, full of fountains, and just having a good time wandering around. I think we'll find some lunch soon. How's Madrid so far?
I've never smelled a city this fresh. It's
amazing.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
We're still walking around the park, and we found the Crystal Palace. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's a perfect day out here in the park. We took a little nap because we are exhausted. We got up at like 3 a.m. to get to Madrid today, so feeling rejuvenated, and we're walking around. We came to Plaza Mayor, which is the main square here in Madrid, and it is absolutely beautiful, bustling with people. Right now we are between the Palace of Madrid and the Cathedral de Santa Maria with an incredible sunset view over the city as well. We just learned this palace, which is the official residence of the Spanish royal family, has 3,418 rooms. Holy cow. I guess that's big enough for one family, huh?
We're following Rob. He's leading us in front of some cars, but that's okay. And we are going to a park, the biggest one, the big one. Which is insane, because I thought the biggest one had to have been the one yesterday. Joe?
It's the second largest park. This one apparently is the first largest park. And it's about a 15-minute walk or so. We're gonna do a little exploring of all these cool old streets on the way.
Rob led us to Plaza de España and immediately got lost. But there's a wonderful little market. I'm sure he's wandering around. I think we have to go find him. We have a videographer, so we both get to be in our videos today. Urban mountain biking. So there's a massive park that we're trying to get to. we've come to like the little first park, which is the Campo del Moro. It's the park with like the gardens for the castle that we were just at. But there's like, I don't know how large this other park is that we're trying to get to. I think this Paseo de, I'm not going to pronounce it, is going to get us there. We stopped to get churros.
We sure did. These are really good. And extremely fresh.
It's our last night in Madrid, and we're hitting the town, and then we have to leave tomorrow.
It's gonna be a bummer.
Yeah. Rob and I are headed on to Portugal.
We're going back to Dublin and then back to the US.
So
Super sad.
we said goodbye to Joe and Kristi this morning. They went to see the sunrise in Madrid, so I'm sure that'll just be a lovely morning. And we hop on the metro to go catch our bus to Lisbon. So we're on our 8-hour bus from Madrid to Lisbon. Only like maybe an hour or two in. It's gonna be a long bus ride. These seats are tough. But Rob has a new book to read, and I'm getting some editing done. So here we go. We're on our 8-hour journey to Portugal, and we didn't nail the planning for the bus ride. So we forgot to bring lunch. We just stopped at a rest stop, and we're having soda and potato chips for lunch. Lunch of champions. The guest house we were booked in for the night is just called and like WhatsApped us that they no longer have a room available, and they like tried to book us into a different place, and it was lower rated and like 4 or 5 stars out of 10, horrible reviews, and then we were gonna have to move in the middle of our stay to another place, and they like wouldn't compensate for any of it, so we just asked them to cancel our reservation. And so we've been sitting on the bus for like 2 hours away from Lisbon trying to get a new reservation booked, and like we are obviously traveling on a budget, so it's very difficult to stay on our budget anyways, let alone to book the day of. But I think we found a place. It's on Airbnb, so we submitted a request. A lot of these European cities, you have to like ask the people who didn't stay, give them tell them about the voucher stuff. So we're like crossing our fingers that it gets approved and we have a place to stay that night. We made it to our Airbnb, and the fun thing about the chaos of having to rebook last minute, which has happened to us a couple of times, we almost always end up in a nicer place than we originally booked, which is fun. It's usually more expensive, and that's not great, but take what you can get. So here it is. We have a kitchen and a living room and a separate bedroom. We had the best morning sleeping in. This is the most comfortable bed we have slept in quite a while. And now we're gonna go hit the town and see what Lisbon has to offer. We found the coast. I guess this is kind of like more of a harbor than the classic Portugal beach, which hopefully we'll find tomorrow, but it is still beautiful. There's a little market going on over here. I think I'll grab a cup of coffee, and we're headed to the old city next. So. We are in the beautiful main square here in Lisbon. It's massive. The buildings are so vibrant. Over here, there's a little beach. I'm not sure people swim at that beach, but people were like making sand art. Yeah. And there's Robert getting some water. Oh, getting his camera out. When we were in Madrid and Spain, I would attempt to say and pronounce some of the locations, but I am totally lost on the Portuguese thing. So I'm just gonna call this the main square. I can pop up the real name in the corner here. Can you spot Rob in the crowd? I've gotten pretty good at this, but he's in there somewhere. There he is, taking photos. As per our typical walking tour adventures, we don't have much of a plan, but we were down by the water and we could see the Lisbon Cathedral sticking out above the skyline. So we made our way here and it is beautiful. We have a beautiful view just walking around the old town, and we found this church with an incredible terrace, and you can see the whole city. I mean, the hills just make all of the buildings look incredible, and the red roofs. It's pretty much a dream, although incredibly chaotic. After leaving Ireland, the culture is just a little loud, hectic, fun. It's like a baby warm-up for heading to Morocco next. Somehow it just keeps getting better. This is a beautiful city. We came around the corner and look at this view. This city is massive. We've been to some smaller cities more recently, and I just couldn't have guessed how big Lisbon is. And we get up to these viewpoints and it's sprawling and beautiful. So I've been to Portugal before, and one of my favorite things was all of the tile. It has such a deep history here, and it's beautiful. So they're called azulejos. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong, but it's the Portuguese ancient traditional tile, and the buildings are covered in them and they're beautiful. And this video clip does not do this building justice, but it is incredible, and we've seen so many beautiful tiled buildings. Rob was a perfect photographer. We came to this funny little attraction that we saw on Google called the Floating Me, and I don't want to ruin the surprise, but he took a great photo of me floating over the streets, so I'll pop it up here. We've been walking around the Alfama neighborhood, which is like the old town, or the traditional old town. The old trains are so cool! We came to the most photographed street in Lisbon, and it is chaos. I'm thinking, to get the shot that I want, I might come back tomorrow morning with my coffee before people are out and about. We are just headed back to our apartment, and it's perfect timing because it's starting to rain. But we had an awesome day so far, so we'll regroup and make a plan for the rest of the day and tomorrow. So I'm headed back to that classic street. That's like the most photographed street in Portugal. It is early in the morning. I got myself coffee and a pastry to enjoy the view. This little tram goes up and down this hill, and these trams go all over the city. They are so fun and just like beautiful to see. It feels very historic. I'm sure they just keep it around because of that, although incredibly useful as well. But like way down this hill, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can see the bay, and just, this is incredible. I just left, and it was beautiful this morning. Less people, except there were these two people who were clearly some sort of videographer or content creator types who just were everywhere. Like, most people would step in, take their photo, take their video, step out so somebody else could do it, but they were just relentless. They were there before I got there, still there when I left. I'm sure their video is going to be beautiful, but I'm pretty sure I did not get a single shot without them in it. So, whatever, we'll see. It's raining, we are walking to the metro, and we are headed to Morocco. We had a wonderful time in Portugal. I really like Portugal.
I had a good time.
Yeah, and Spain. We really liked both of them.
Spain was good.
Yeah, I wish we had planned more time in these parts of the world, but we'll just have to come back on vacation sometime in our lives. And we're really excited for Morocco. That's, as we're walking to the metro, we're like talking plans and exciting and what we think, what we're expecting. And, yeah. Here we go.